Over the past few weeks and months, I've been speaking to people in North East Fife about their expectations for the budget. And last night I spoke in the budget debate, and today we'll be voting for the resolutions in relation to it. And certainly over the weekend, what I heard was a real frustration and sadness in relation to the missed opportunity that last week's budget presented. And particularly in North East Fife, there's a number of issues that I have raised. And I've highlighted the fact that our high streets and main streets are so important. And indeed, my frustration that the government are still refusing to look at changing the criteria around banking hubs so that we can maintain as many of these places as possible in our communities. But the government had an opportunity to change VAT in relation to hospitality and tourism, and I want the Scottish Government to move forward with really properly looking at business rates so that businesses in Scotland have the same benefits from cuts and relief as businesses elsewhere in the UK have. There was issues that I didn't get the opportunity to raise, looking at local housing allowance, which is now far, far below market rates. Electric vehicles, I absolutely accept that the government need to look at ensuring that electric vehicle owners do pay for roads maintenance. But when you think about the rural communities that we have and the lack of public transport infrastructure, it seems too far too fast and does not feel like it's thought properly about rural communities. And talking about not thinking about rural communities, the family farm tax is going ahead. Now, there might have been some tinkering around inheritance tax changes, but fundamentally the government have had the opportunity in the last year to listen to the reasonable requests on how that tax change could be made fairer, and they have refused to do so. And I know how devastating that will be for many in North East Fife. I did get the chance to talk about whisky. We know that Eden Mill Distillery has recently went into administration, and I'm delighted that the jobs there have been maintained. But what we didn't see in the budget last week was the changes that were needed in order to ensure the long-term viability and support for the Scotch whisky industry, which supports over 40,000 jobs across the UK. The Liberal Democrats had a very strong plan for the budget, and we're disappointed to see that a number of the measures have not been delivered. And what that means is what could have been a budget of hope has ended up being one that is fairly hopeless, not only in terms of what it will deliver, but also the fact that it hasn't given people hope for the future as we reach the end of the year.